Hello everyone, my name is Hassam, and in this video we are going to cover the landing distances based on today's METAR. Our temperature is 19 degrees Celsius and our pressure altitude is calculated 500 feet, and we are going to land at John Wayne Airport. So let's look at this chart. It's basically the same chart that we have for takeoff, with the exception of right here with note number 2. We said decrease distances 10% for each 9 knots of headwind, and for operations with tailwinds up to 10 knots, increase the distance by 10% for each 2 knots. So I'm going to explain this really quickly to you. So let's go over the values of the chart. So we know that the temperature of the day is 19 degrees Celsius. So if we divide this difference between 10 degrees and 20 degrees, we have 10 increments between these two. So I divided in 10 increments for you here. So if you're looking at 19 degrees, we are looking about using 90 degrees of this percentage between this number and this number. For example, if we are at sea level and we are 10 degrees, we are only using 1235 feet or 1235 feet to land and like roll on the ground until we fully stop. So and if it's hotter and it's 20 degrees, we're gonna use 1265. However, today is 19 degrees, so we can say that we are 10% shy of 20 degrees. So whatever value is for 20 degrees right here, we are 10% less than that. So we're gonna find the values for between sea level and 1,000 feet. Why? Because today's pressure altitude is not sea level at John Wayne, but it is 500 feet. So 500 feet is between sea level and 1,000 right here. So for ground roll, we can find the average between 510 and 530. It's going to be 520, and we're going to find the same value for the total to clear 50-foot obstacle. We find this number, and for between 5.3 and 5.5, it's going to be 540, and between 1265 and 1300, it's going to be roughly 1283. So now that we find these are the values for 500 feet pressure altitude. So now that we found that, we're gonna find the temperature difference. We are not 10 degrees, we are not 20, but we are almost 10 degrees cooler than 20. So whatever this number is, 10% less than that. So let's find that 520, 540, we find the difference, it's 20. So we are 10% shy of that, and we find 18. We add that to the little number, and we get 538. Also, we need to consider note number 2 that says decrease distance 10% for each 9 knots of headwind. So what does that sentence mean? It means that if 9 knots of headwind is 10%, so each knot of headwind, it's 1 knot of headwind, is going to be only 1.1%. How we get that? If we simply divide 10 by 9, it's going to be 1.1. So if we have 18 knots of headwind, it's going to be 18 times 1.1, and we get 20%. So we need to decrease 538 by 20. So we subtract 20% from it, and we get 424. And the last consideration is the upslope. So we have an upslope runway for landing. It's gonna stop us sooner because we're landing in this direction. So we're gonna be stopped sooner, much sooner. So how much sooner? It's going to be if we take 424 minus 4%. Why 4%? Because we have on John Wayne we have runway 20 left, right here. So we have 0.4% of upslope. As a rule of thumb, each 1 degree is 10%. So we have 0.4 degree, so we have 4%. So here we decrease the 424 by 4%, we get 408 feet. So what is the difference between this 408 and 538? The distance is only 16 feet, right? If you use the calculator, you see, okay, this distance and this distance is, this distance is 16 feet less than this. So we have to decrease our total too by 16 feet. So we subtract 1027 minus 16 feet, we get 986 feet for our total to clear. Thank you so much for watching, and please subscribe and leave your comments below so we can have better videos in the future for you. Have a good one.